Well, that explains why the solar was struggling. I'm up here on the roof of the hab, and the panel's not actually facing the sun right now. And that's not how that works. Uh, I don't know if it's damage from the landing or if it's been broken since long before I abandoned ship, but the circuitry that controls the rotation servos is fried. Uh, Let me describe the absurdity of my situation. I am sitting on top of the hab. The battery with the most charge left is plugged into the internal base power supply. It just so happens to be my suit battery. My suit is instead running off of my tablet's battery, which I had to rig with a creative use of wires for it to interface. All of the other batteries are dead. The equipment is currently smelting ores and assembling what I need for an electronic circuit printer, and I'm sitting here under the solar panel like it's a beach umbrella, manually adjusting its angle to point at the sun just to keep the power on. The circuit printer is up, sun's gone down. I've come inside to do questionable things with wires and the portable solar panel. It's packed with the tools. I forgot I had that. Probably would have been helpful today during battery deaden. I was able to make an LED on the printer, so I at least have some light. I think I've managed to convert this portable charger into a daylight sensor of sorts, and with the circuits I've wired together, it should be able to send update ticks to the solar panel servos. I'll check in the morning. Hello, I'm on the roof again, watching sunrise, and the solar panel automatically adjusts itself to track. There's a sense of accomplishment, surviving 4 days, and now able to run the machinery and charge my batteries at the same time. So I have what I need to heat and light the hab, which means getting some sort of hydroponics garden set up, and hope those genetically modified potato seeds are still viable and that they can grow fast enough to be editable before my rations run out. I doubt I have enough water left to do that, but there's ice out there. Hab's not big enough for water processing and hydroponics, though. Probably need more atmospherics, too, because I'm fairly certain I'm not breathing enough CO2 to keep plants alive. Yeah. No, I think I know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to start a fire.
Good afternoon, I'm Tangent Turner, and this is Mars Stationeer Brutal, Episode 4. Let's get loaded into the world here. So today's goal is the furnace. We need to unlock the alloys that we need to progress. So batteries, radiators, some new building materials, better tools, basically all the things we need to get towards hydroponics and water processing. So let's load in here. And the first thing I'm going to show you here is I've figured out the notes a little bit better, and I've reorganized them so that the episode notes will be at the top every single time. So this time we need to do an alloy furnace, which is just a furnace kit, 4 iron sheets. I want to get 2 lockers. I want to get 4 chutes, 3 passive vents, a liquid drain, 6 pipes, and 3 pipe utility. So this is actually, this little button here I've been clicking all the time is actually the pin button. If I just click over here normally, it disappears. So let's start off by eating and drinking because we're about to head outside to handle a little bit of work. Let's leave that there. And can we get any of this to run while we're in here? You know, I can put this up here, and I can probably do. That's going to print 2 passive vents for me while I'm outside. There we go. So as you can see, we need 82 iron and 12 copper for today's build list. So we're actually going to go ahead and get that cooking right now. Throw that in there and get that started. Clean that up. I plan on keeping this kind of a temporary setup for the furnace, just to last until until I have a better system set up for it a little bit later, when I have more freedom to actually care about placement and storing things. Okay, that's good. Let's go ahead and throw one of these 50s in here because we're going to need it. Get back inside real quick. Turn these off. All right, that's made 2. Go ahead and throw this in there and get me 1 more of those passive vents. Oh, there we go. Put those there for now. I'm gonna go ahead and start some pipe here. So I've already got 3 pipe over here, so we only need 3 more pipe to hit the 6 that we're gonna need for this. But we're gonna make 4 so that we can use that half ingot of iron there. Gosh, what do we got? What do we got? Do I have... Well, the light is coming up, so we can turn that off. I need some of that. I need some of that more iron to build the rest of this, but we're also going to need everything out of this. And let's put this here. That's only 21. That's not going to be enough. Let's go ahead and get the furnace started. Actually, locker. I am running out of inventory space at the moment, and I need to drop off some ores so I can use some of this sunlight to gather what we need to do some more construction. Come on. There you go. Now we can set up the furnace. And we're only going to get 1 of those. So close that. Turn all this on. There we go. Now, I don't typically just build these big ones just anywhere, but I need to free up some space. So there's 3 and this. And while we're waiting for this, we go ahead and put this away here. All right, so now, power. We do not want to go out there with this low power. And, come to think of it, we should probably, now that we have power hooked up, set this up. So we can start charging some of these while we are out, seeing as we have that solar tracking now. Alrighty. So we need to get some volatiles so that we can actually start the furnace. We're also going to need a little bit more, well, I don't need the iron right now, because I have what I need to make 1 run of steel. Mostly we're just looking for volatiles, though. Oh, there we are. Alright, so let's dig up at least a stack of volatiles. The stack exists here. So what do you guys think about the intros to the videos? I'm interested to hear what you think. I think 4 to 5 minutes is a bit much. I was making them a bit long, so I'm going to try and shorten that up a little bit. There may be short ones, there may be long ones. I think really it's just going to depend on how much happens in an episode and what I feel should be commemorated in the story. So, but no, yeah, leave your comments or whatever if you like it, if you don't like it, and we can build off of that. The current idea of having, these kind of like 30-minute episodes is that's pretty much only for like this speed run portion where we have to get stable. Once we have reliable power, which we do, and reliable water and reliable food, that's really where the speed run kind of ends. I plan on having longer episodes that will span more than a single day. We're gonna get a whole bunch of this coal now since we're already here, and there's a thing here. Yeah, longer episodes that'll take more than a day. There'll be some time lapses, so you don't watch me coming out and drilling for minerals all the time. Everybody's seen that. They don't need to see me digging straight down into holes I can barely get myself out of all the time. So I do plan on doing still 30 to 45 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. It does feel rushed. It does feel speed runny. I feel like I don't have enough time to talk or just relate, describe what it is I'm thinking or doing in this run through. So I just want to use today's daylight to get some more raw resources. I know I'm going to need gold for batteries in the near future. I also know I'm going to need gold for a windmill, turbine, whatever it's called, upright wind turbine. And I want to get one of those built relatively early in the first week, so that if there is a sandstorm, I can benefit from the extra power to fill up a battery, like an actual station battery, not just suit batteries. I also am going to need the gold for electrum, which is one of the alloys that definitely needs. It is needed for a lot of tools, a lot of advanced stuff. Did we get all the gold? No, we did not. Man, I feel like other times I've played, I've had much smaller ore nodes, or whatever you want to call it, where they do not just go infinitely into the ground like what I'm experiencing now. What is that? See, I missed one. There we go. I just feel like the ore in this randomization has been absurdly high. What is this? This is more copper. That is worth taking with us, I believe. At least another sack of copper for all the wiring we're going to need in the relative near future. Because I used almost all of the wiring I have making that solar tracker. I don't think I'm going to do this entire one, but I am going to get at least 2 stacks of copper before I leave this. But yeah, they feel a lot larger. These ore nodes, or conglomerations, whatever you want to call them. Ooh, ice. Actual ice. I don't know where the base is from here. One of the reasons I like this start is I can just go up wherever up leads me, and I will get eyes on my base. See, there it is. Because of, ooh, nickel. That's actually on my, list. Alloy list. But no, it's because my base is practically at the top of the map. All I have to do is just, like, go up, which I can accomplish even during the night with, no visibility. Oh, we've already got a stack. You know what? Let's get 2 stacks. Silver. Silver is still on our list of things I need to get soon. That's for the Electrum. With this nickel, I'll be able to make the Constantin. Am I really getting 3 stacks of this? I think I'm getting 3 stacks of this. I wasn't paying attention. I already had 20. I'm like, yeah, we'll just keep collecting it. What is that? Oh, that's nickel. All of that is nickel. All right, we're going back. And we'll drop this off. The sun is already towards the south. Is actually past the south. That's not great. We did not find silver, so I don't think we're going to actually get any Electrum at this point. But we should be able to get at least the steel that we originally planned on. All right, so let's unload a bit here. Hello? Nickel, nickel, nickel. Our gold. Our copper. This. Yeah, that's not a full lot of iron we got there. We'll take this in, and did you run out of power? Oh, I bet you these filled off of that one, and that's what caused the issue. That's fine. We'll come back to this in a moment. Vent off. Alright, so let's put the copper here until we know where we need to put it, and the iron here. Oh, that's painful. Furnace didn't finish before it ran out of power. Ouch. Yep, that's I should have left the good battery here when I was heading out, but live and learn. Let's go ahead and drink some water. That's now empty. Trash. Get a piece of food. Piece of water. Alright, so leftovers there. Water there. Alright, let's take a look at our list here. So I haven't produced almost any of what I needed to. We did do the pipes. We did do the passive vents. What is this at? 45%. Okay. Let's yeah, so I want to replace these with the passive vents, but because of how I have the wiring coming through right here, I'm not going to be able to do that. So I need to, yeah, remove some of this. So that yep, this one. There we go. Those are back on again. With that removed, there's now space freed up here for me to do the angle turn I want to do. So we just do this, grab this, place it there. All right, so that's that one taken care of. The one outside will be handled similarly. Okay, furnace finally finished. We're going to need some iron sheets, 4 of those. And you ran out of iron. Well, you know what? Here, have some more. All right, and then I need 4 chutes, I think, is what I want on this. We're going to need some things from the pipe bender as well. But it's still daylight. We'll do most of the assembly at night. Is that 3? There's 3 of those. Alright, there's our 4 chutes. Why am I making chutes early? I don't like the rotation that I have to do most of the time of the furnace. to like put into the left and export on the right, it annoys me a little bit. So I try to not do it. It does make the initial furnace a little bit more expensive, but at this point I have a little bit of stuff working for me. You know, do we have enough for the pipe utilities? We do. We'll get those going. There's the liquid pipe. You don't have anything in you. We've got a whole bunch of copper there. All right, so the pipe utility is so I can make the 3x pipe utility like pressure pipe for storing some of the gases that I want to vent out of this. That's the whole reason. How's this doing? 98%. That's fine. I'd really like to make another light to put outside, so it's not draining my suit light. All right. Doop, doop, doop. Because otherwise I have to take this one out with me and remember to actually bring it back in. All right. Do I have everything I need? I think I do. We will find out shortly, right? Always pressing the wrong button. I will upgrade the airlock later. TM, trademarked. Later happens whenever later is. All right, so what do we got here? Up and down. I can't remember if this is supposed to be dead center or a little bit off back of center, but let's just work with this, right? Iron sheets, and then a welding torch. All right, let's get our chutes here. One there, one there, and then I want the chute inlet, which I'm going to point down on my head like that. And let's work on the pipes a little bit. Did I did not bring out the pipes. Okay. Back inside. Good times, Tangent. Always remembering the important stuff. And pipes. Is that all I need? Maybe. We'll see. There we go. All right. So we're going to come back here, and I'm going to plus sign and this, and let's switch out for these. And can I put the drain on? I need a straight. All right. Well, let's remedy that. Come on. There we go. So that's straight. And a straight. So what I'm doing is I'm installing the passive liquid drain so that anything that becomes a liquid in here because of the temperature or pressure drains out instead of hurting the pipes. And so I'm also using a passive vent here with the valve already built into it. It saves me a little bit of copper, actually. All right. So with that built, I think that brings our furnace up into working order. We're going to grab 3 stacks of iron and a stack of coal. And I don't even remember what Constantine needs. Suppose we can just, pause this and take a look at it real quick. So Constantine is 20 pressure. I might be able to accomplish that fairly easily early on. And then I wouldn't have to make the high pressure one again. Because with solder, which is another one of the early ones, that has to be super low temp. And any pressure, steel, which we're making, is almost anything, I think. Yeah, 900 and anything. Electrum, which I don't have the silver for, so I can't actually do that today, is a semi low one. So yeah, let's just get started, right? All right, so we've got volatiles. Actually, I want to put these in my hand so they automatically... Actually, I want to move this thing. So I've noticed when you have things inside of a frame and you start doing weird stuff to them, the frame glitches out, and if you drop something to kick into this thing, it will rattle around, hit your suit 8 times, and cause damage. All right, so can we just... Okay, that didn't work. Can we just... There we go. So there's one of those. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3. All right, and
power critical.
Okay. I hear you. Turn this off. Switch this out. Oh, I hadn't clicked this enough to get past the volatiles. That's all the problem was. So there we are. That's going. So let's put that back where it was. And there it is. I also like how with the chutes I can put several stacks in there. Does become a bit of a problem later on when you don't want it to automatically do that. Let's do the 40. And then we'll do a 52 of this. Oh, so much faster. There's some gold. But there, we have a furnace. It's maybe not the same build that other people do, but I like it. That's all that matters. That's not what I wanted to do. My inventory is problematic. Because it's problematic, let's do this. And turn that up so that we can use the last passive event we brought out here. I do not want the controlled one, so we'll just do that. Yeah, we can cook a silicon. I can do that. You know what? We'll cook one of the nickels too. Why not, right? All things we're going to need in the near future to make batteries and other wonderful stuff.
Power low.
I'll tell you what, the using your flashlight is pretty annoying for... Oh, that's a nice glow. That's pretty. Yeah, let's just go with that. No battery. Good, 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 good. What batteries do we have left? All right, so we've got 11 MPa in there. This is holding at 11 MPa, even though we've tossed tons of stuff out of it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it in there at 11 MPa, because these things can hold up to 60, and we can reclaim CO2 from that and some nitrogen. The volatiles will all burn off, but that CO2 we're going to want for our plants. Yeah, I think that's all we need to accomplish out here tonight. Let's head back in. How is our power? Our power is at 76%. Let's turn the light back on. Have a little bit to drink. And there's our candy bar. Oh, we're getting through that stuff pretty quick here. We're coming to the end of the episode here. So we got our ability to make some. Whoop, click. Where is it? There it is. The beautiful, beautiful steel. And with that steel, we're going to be able to build some things that we have wanted to build. What else we got out here? We got some nickel. We can store that there for now. A whole bunch of silicon. We're going to need more storage. Desperately going to need more storage. So let's just go ahead and do that now. Well, you need iron for that, and I ain't got no iron on me. If we're that low on iron, yeah. If we're that low on iron, we need to just go cook that while we still have heat out there. But yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about the intros to the episodes. If you like them, if you hate them, if you think they're too long, too short. It's not really voiceover work. It's just, you know, making it much more, I don't know, dramatic. It's not necessarily the truth, but it plays off of what actually happens during the playthrough. But yeah, there's our furnace. I'll give you a little tour of it. Shoot on the bottom just to throw things at me. A shoot on the top to get the curve we need for the input, where I can just throw things up into it. Out the back side, we've got a T and an X junction. The T junction is there so that we can add this liquid drain. So if anything gets too cold in this thing, just sitting out here in the -40, it'll drain out, and enough pressure to save some of our gases. I'll probably make some sort of tank system where I can just start, once this cools down, take it inside and run it through an atmospheric processor. But our goal is complete. We have steel, and with the steel, base expansion. Base expansion becomes the next thing. We may build on top of this hole to hide it. Later in the series, we'll probably do a what's the word I want to use? Switch these out. Okay. There we go. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. Why is it letting me highlight that? So what am I doing right? What am I doing massively wrong? Leave me a comment. Let me know. I record 2 episodes at a time, and I check my comments before starting. My mod list is available on my channel as its own video, and I'd like to thank you all for watching. Yeah. All right. There we are. We've got our iron. We're back inside. And I will see you next time for our continuing adventures on Mars Brutal Stationeer.